I think that to your point of being present, that is such an important thing. And it's not something that I would have realized the importance of until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, being present
Mm.
in the moment to really experience life and to be very mindful of your circumstances. I think that's important. And a spa, our spa in particular, is a wonderful place to embrace that.
Welcome back to The Couch is Yours with your host, me, Davriel J. Peters. I am a licensed therapist, clinical traumatologist, and I'm an author. And today I have a very special guest. I've been waiting for a while to get her to join me for this interview. I'm so excited to welcome Jamila Raphael, one of the directors of Valsane Luxury Spa. And like you guys, when I went to this spa, I immediately was just like, okay, I need to work with them. I felt so at home and it was so cozy. So, Jamila, please tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and welcome to the couch.
Oh my gosh. Hi, good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here, Davriel. Thank you so much for choosing me and us to be part of this feature. I'm so glad to hear that you felt warm and cozy visiting the spa. That's what we aim for. I'm just happy to be here this afternoon. So, just by way of introduction, I'm one of the directors of Valsy Luxury Spa. There are a few of us, and I am also an attorney at law. Okay, I have a passion for anything health, beauty related, as well as some aspects of the legal profession as well. I do conveyancing and family law. So yeah, just happy to be here and I'm just really excited about this conversation.
It's how she just kind of like slipped in. Oh, and I'm an attorney at law. She just like just slipped that in, low key, like
Ew.
you told me, but you say it like if it's nothing, like it's not an accomplishment.
Okay, okay.
You know what
Well,
I mean? It's like, yeah, that is something to be proud of. So,
thank you.
especially as you
Thank you.
mentioned that, can you tell us about your journey into the spa industry? Like, what even inspired? I mean, you have a degree in law. So, what even inspired you to be a part of this industry? What inspired your family to even create this business?
All right. So as you rightly said, we're a family business. My mom would have started the business about 16 years ago.
Wow.
And of course, me, being that person who was always there with my mom, I was like very excited about it too. And it so happened that since I was a child, I've always enjoyed anything related to beauty and cosmetology. I was that girl who was doing their mother's toes, who was doing their cousin's hair. Since I was like 5 years old, I'm doing my own hair. I've always been interested in this space. So it was a very natural progression for me to come in and help with the spa. So I don't do the services. I do all, I mean, majority of the administration of the spa would be me. And because I like the industry over the years, I've done a lot of certification in anything spa related. So right now I'm pursuing a certificate in cosmetology. It's a full diploma, the ministry, right?
Wow.
It's a full I also would have done a certificate in essential oils. I would have done a dermatological clean touch certification. I've done a diploma in natural skincare formulation. I've done massage therapy. And I've also done introductory to facial techniques as well. So I like it. I like it. I like the
You
space.
obviously like
So
it.
that's why I'm involved in it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
That led
amazing.
me to
You even mentioned like your mom going into the 16 years ago. It sounds like for the majority of your life you grew up around, right? This industry, with her being
yes.
so heavily invested in it. What was her motivation to get into the spa
The
industry?
same as the same as me. She loved the industry, and prior years she would have gone to spas, all over the world, and she would have wanted to get herself involved in it too. My mom is a visionary, she's a risk taker. She's not afraid of getting into things that are new and novel. And it would have been new for her as well. But, with the right training and, as you said, investment, we were able to build something. So, and something great, a brand that's recognized. We're so happy to be around still, despite the pandemic and everything
Yeah.
that would have happened to other businesses around that time. We still have been able to maintain a presence, so we could only be grateful. And clearly, we're doing something right.
16 years, clearly. 16 years definitely is a legacy. Many people tend to see spa treatments, though, like a luxury, right? How do you see them as a part of like overall wellness and especially even mental health? How do you see spa treatments?
Well, when I think about having a spa experience, I see it as just part of a healthy emotional wellness routine,
Okay.
right? I don't see it as a luxury, and I see it as almost a necessity. So, me being a director and administrator of the spa, I feel very lucky when I'm actually able to partake in getting a service done on myself because it
Mm.
helps me in maintaining that balance, that work life balance. So I see it as just part of our overall wellness routine for myself. And it can be for others as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you. I know it's probably because of, just our culture. We see it as a self-care thing, and self-care has definitely become very, I would say, trivialized, the
Yeah.
term, because we throw it around so much. But yeah, we do put it off as something that, okay, maybe eventually, when probably it's my birthday, it's something that isn't a part of our lifestyle of how we take care of
Yeah.
ourselves, right? We tend to put it off as a luxury, but to your point, it should be a part of your overall wellness and care. For you, how do you experience stress? So when you feeling stressed, like how does it show up for you physically in your body?
Yeah. So for me, when I'm stressed, it's manifested in many different ways. So I'm a
Hmm.
person, I get tightness in my shoulders. I
Yeah.
could be a bit irritable. I can have brain fog. I could be forgetful. And it's not nice to see. It's not nice to be around when I'm
Yikes.
stressed. But thankfully, I don't get extremely stressed because of the healthy emotional wellness balance that I strive to include in my
Mm,
life.
right. So you strive to keep that balance where you get stressed, but not as often, or it doesn't reach, right, like a climax point.
Can't let it,
You can't let
can't
it.
let
I
it.
love that mindset though. Like it's like
Yeah.
can't let it, can't let it. Um, do the spa treatments because you did mention that you even from time to time you would have a treatment yourself. Do you recognize that release physically of the physical tension and even emotional when you do a treatment? Do you feel the difference?
Yeah. So in terms of the benefits of having a spa experience, there would be the physiological effect and there would also be the emotional effect. So physiologically, after I have a massage, I really feel lighter. Okay. So
Mm,
if massage therapists, when they do massages for me, they always say, Jamila, you have some knots in your shoulders here, because I
wow.
would do it not as often as I should, but I still
Yeah.
get a chance, right? You have, tension here, and they would massage it. It hurts sometimes, but they
Hmm.
do get it out. And when you feel that knot coming out and you come off the bed and you actually walk and you come out of the room, you feel your body feeling lighter. You feel your body, even not even massages alone. Massages are one thing, but say for example, you do a pedicure, right?
Okay.
Pedicure, it's beautifying the tools and you put in polish on or whatever, but it's also involves soaking the feet,
Right.
soaking up the feet, Epsom salts, those minerals really help release certain energies from under your feet, and just the soothing nature of hot water on your feet is quite nice. So you
Yeah.
get that aspect. When they massage your foot, not even massage it, even before we get to the massage, when they do the exfoliation, it feels really good to
Wow.
feel the little
Yeah.
crystals moving under your feet, and then your feet look and feel. less tense when you finish. It's nice.
Right.
It's nice.
Right. I actually love something you said there when you mentioned the knots and the pain, because
Yeah.
I think that when people think of the spa, they don't think pain, right? Like they think, oh,
Yeah.
it's just a massage, not
Yeah.
recognizing that our lifestyle has
Hmm.
become very go go go, and we'll talk about that a little later. But it's very high stress a lot of the times, and we do carry that stress in our bodies. We may mentally be ignoring it, trying to avoid it, and we think we're okay. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But your body knows. Like your mind can lie to you, but your body never lies. Your
Your
body
body
holds it.
knows. Your
And so
body
that
holds on.
tension that you're talking about, it building up those knots, and then having the safety in a spa environment with professionals to have them
Hmm.
work through those knots. And yes, it's painful initially, but then you get that relief. You get, right, that release, that lighter feeling that you were talking about. I think that that is so, so important to highlight,
Yeah.
that you have
Even
to face the
persons.
initial pain. Like, yeah,
Mhm. Even persons who have stiffness, in joints, persons
yeah,
who pain from exercising, people
mm,
who just need to relax can benefit from a massage as well because it does all of that. Different types of massages are for different things.
right,
So it depends on what is the physiological concern. Massages can help address that problem. Of course, it doesn't substitute you seeing a doctor if there's something serious. It doesn't substitute seeing a psychologist or a therapist, as the case may be, if there's something deeper happening
right.
psychologically. But it's a complement.
I strongly believe that. I love that you said that. It's a huge compliment. I honestly constantly refer my clients to get a massage. I really try to encourage them at least once a month to
Yeah.
try and get a massage, try acupuncture, right? Like different things. And you mentioned even a pedicure, because some people may be like, well, I don't have the money to do a massage every month. But something that is a lower price bracket as a pedicure, that still can give you so many mental health wellness benefits. So can you talk to us about some
Manicure.
of the, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, talk to you about some of the
The other, like you mentioned, the pedicure, right? Like some of the other services that you guys and treatments that you guys offer, that could
right.
definitely aid in just mental well-being.
Okay, so apart from massages, which we highly recommend, that will be the on the highest tier, right? We would then recommend use of the infrared sauna. That is
Wow.
supposed to assist in detoxifying the body. We also recommend manicures, like the pedicure I was describing. It helps release the tension in the hands because all our manicures include a hand massage, you know? Well, most of the manicures and the express manicure. But typical manicure would include getting massage on your hands, getting exfoliation on the hands, cleaning up the cuticles, really getting that hand nice and clean and having that tension released from the hands. Facials are also excellent because at the end of the facial normally some lymphatic massage
Mm,
is done to release, to increase the movement of lymph through the facial area. Also, body scrubs are amazing.
really?
Body scrubs are amazing and they feel amazing. Okay, they feel amazing. Now, people might know that if they haven't experienced it, but
Right.
just imagine
Right.
how it feels having the crystals massaging your feet and a pedi on your whole body.
Mm,
And then when you're finished, you rinse off the crystals and then you then massage in some nice cream. So it's really, really soothing.
wow.
Something with the mixture of the friction against your skin and then feeling your skin feeling so soft when you're finished. It's really, really comfortable and it really elevates your spirits. So I would definitely recommend those services to anybody who wants to do something in a spa for relaxation.
Wow. So, what about someone who is like not about the spa life? They've probably never even been to the spa before. What is like a introduction, starting point kind of service that they could try? to just get
Okay.
the experience of coming into this environment.
What can I say is an easy way to get your feet wet?
To dip your toes,
Dip your toes, dip your hands.
maybe dip your toes.
Maybe dip your toes. It depends on what the person likes. So some
Okay.
people say that I don't like people touching me. I don't like
Right.
other
Yes.
people touching my body. So a massage might not be for them. So
Okay.
maybe they can start with a pedicure, which is a lot less personal. So
Right.
the therapist is interacting with their feet and not their entire body. So it's not as personal, but you still get a nice experience of a spa treatment, a full experience, as opposed to just like I wouldn't tell them to do waxing because waxing, you'll get a little. The hair removal is never completely painless. So I wouldn't start with
Right.
waxing, even though it's a
Right.
quicker one. But I would definitely say a pedicure or even a quick massage if you're open minded. There was a guest who visited us this week, would have been Wednesday, and she's like telling me, Jamila, I really don't like people touching me. I don't know about this massage. My husband bought this massage for me, and I don't want to do it. And I said, listen, try and see how you feel with it before just writing it off, saying you don't like touching people touching. Because I was like that at first as well. I don't want anybody
Yeah.
touching me. I find it's very invasive.
Yeah.
And when she finished with the service, she was so happy. She tipped the therapist you
Wow.
know S- yes, yes, yes. So I think it's important for people to come with a little open mind, but I'm very
Open
good at
mind.
encouraging
Yes.
people to have open minds as well.
No, definitely. Um, we touched on this a bit earlier, in terms of culture. So we're we're located in Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean culture, right? And I think that probably in times of old, Caribbean culture was portrayed and probably had a kind of laid back, relaxed, kind of laissez faire lifestyle. But it's no longer like that. I think I know many people who are working full time jobs and they have side hustles, and it's a very grind, westernized culture that we have adopted in recent years. Go mode all the time. So, rest has now become almost like taboo. Like it's almost like we've lost what was very special about that Caribbean lifestyle, which was the ability to just rest. Why what do you think is important about intentional rest?
Yeah, I think intentional rest is critical. I think that the
Yeah.
body was made to just be running nonstop. From my knowledge of how the body works and physiology and that type of thing, from my sister who's a doctor, you need rest. Rest is needed for lots of reasons. Rest is needed to regenerate tissues in the body. Rest is needed to help the brain relax as well. Rest is essential. We weren't made to be going nonstop. Even though there's some people who think that there's something admirable about not taking a rest and just being a busy, it isn't. Because when you don't rest, you don't allow your body to operate at its full potential.
Correct.
Right? So I think rest has a very, very important part to play, especially in the society that we live in. It's very demanding. Caribbean society is very unique as well. There are a lot of different stresses that we can all
Yeah.
relate to, whether it be coming home in the traffic on an afternoon, okay,
Yes.
whether it be the boss at work who is terrorizing you, whether it be, the kids who demand a lot out of you or your spouse. Everybody needs an escape from day to day life. And even if you don't have a lot of stress, everyone needs an escape from the mundane. These days, what is
Mm,
in our society, Caribbean society, would be exercising or partying, going out. But if you don't fit into those categories, what exactly
what
are
is
you
there for you,
doing?
right? Yeah.
What are you doing to relax yourself? What are you doing to give your life a little bit more structure and some more color? You know, that rest that comes in is still needed.
I really love how you described it as giving your life more color. I've to be honest, I've never I've never thought of rest as color, and
Hmm.
that's really unique. I might have to steal that one from you. I don't even think you recognized what you said there, but it was like Because I think we see it the opposite. Like rest is the gray, right? Like I have to stop. What am I going to do? Just sit down, you know? But to your point, like rest is what allows you, as you say, to reach your full potential, to
It's the
operate
fuel.
on a,
Yeah, it's the fuel. And that rest could be manifested in different ways. Rest could be, I'm going to take a nice long nap, or I'm going to go to the beach, or you know what? I'm going to do a 5K to give my body a little bit, even though it's not a rest, it's still a change
yeah,
in scenery, right?
yeah,
It's a rest from your usual routine. You rest in different ways. So, whether it be that type of rest, or whether it be, okay, I'm going to rest by getting a massage, a 45
right.
minutes, let's say 1 hour, 1 hour long massage at the day spa. That is rest. And it's
No,
valuable and
definitely. That
yeah,
I totally agree with you. I see a lot of clients that come with anxiety, and I think anxiety is one of the most, if not the most, um, like prevalent diagnosis that we have to address.
yes, yes,
And it feels like everything in our day to day lives is an emergency. Like everything, whether it's just answering the phone, answering a message, your phone binging, 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 binging constantly, and just the alarm, the notification sound gives us a jolt, right? Of like, okay, this is an emergency. Even waking up to an alarm is a jolt. Like if you think about it, when humans didn't have phones and all alarms and all these things, they used to wake up naturally. Like their circadian rhythm would naturally wake them up. But now we have a jolt. So even your start of the day is started with a jolt. And it just continues. The amount of decisions we have to make is so much more compared to times past. So I usually use this analogy where I say, it's almost like if you're driving on a highway and you're driving at 100, okay, no problem, 100 kilometers per hour on the highway is fine, that's legal, right? But when you have to drive, let's say in a school zone, driving in a school zone, if you're still driving at 100, what is going to happen? You're going to crash. You are going to hurt yourself, and most likely you're going to hurt others. And that's oftentimes what happens. We operate at this very fast frequency, this very fast speed, in situations that do not call for it. And so I ask my clients to literally ask yourself, does this require me to operate at 100? Or can I scale it back to 60? Can I scale it back to 20? Right? Like to feel the difference, because we are constantly going. And to your point, we need rest. We need to slow down because we will burn out. We will crash. And then not just hurt ourselves, but hurt those around us. Because you even mentioned a little earlier about feeling irritable, right? Like when you're stressed, that's quite normal. When you're constantly tense and going, 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 you're not giving your body or your brain time to recoup, to regenerate, to calm down, right? So yes, you will be irritable. You will snap at people that you don't mean to, so definitely rest is so important.
it is. It really, really, really is. I think that in society, there's this badge of honor, that some people think they have
Right.
by going nonstop.
Yeah.
And it really, really isn't. It really, really isn't a badge of honor. It's just depleting yourself.
And for what? I guess that's the question, because if you can't even slow down enough to enjoy the things that you are racing so far hard for, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Like, what really is the point? As we're on this topic of rest, how can visiting, the spa kind of help people to reconnect with slowing down, with being present? Because that's the other thing with this speed that we're constantly going. And for some people, the speed isn't always rushing off somewhere. The speed is in their minds, right? Like their mind is constantly racing, so many thoughts, so many things to do. They're planning this, that, and the other. How can going to the spa kind of help them slow that down and allow them to be in the present moment, not in the past where you didn't do something or you should have said something, and also not in the future where you have this to do and that to do, but just to be present in this space that smells so good, because Spa's always smelling good, right? That smells so good, and you're going through whatever treatment it is. How
Yeah.
can it help them reconnect?
Yeah, I think that to your point of being present, that is such an important thing. And it's not something that I would have realized the importance of until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, being present
Mm.
in the moment to really experience life and to be very mindful of your circumstances. I think that's important. And a spa, our spa in particular, is a wonderful place to embrace that. So when you visit a spa, what you should experience would be a change in environment.
Mm.
It should be a change in scenery, right? So, as you would have rightly said, you visit a spa, scent, right? Sight, sound, scent. You walk in, you should be confronted by a beautiful aroma. The ambiance should be something different to what you're typically seeing every day. It should be something that is relaxing and or eye catching. Okay. Um, the sound should be nice, beautiful, relaxing music. So, because a spa brings those elements together, it should then be able to take you into that space of being present and being mindful because you want to savor the experience. It's different, it's new, it's relaxing, it's a safe space. And I think all of us could benefit from having a safe space, safe, neutral space that is separate and apart from our daily lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny as you went through what you met with as a customer when you walk into a spa. It literally took me to one of our grounding techniques that we use as therapists, which is the five senses, going through the five senses. You know, for somebody who is feeling overwhelmed, they're probably experiencing a panic attack or an anxiety attack. We ask them to go through those five senses. What can you see? What can you smell? You know, what can you taste? Right? So it's interesting that literally you're talking about a space that is safe for them to really help ground their senses, slow down. Now, when I spoke about that speed, really what's happening there is that fight mode, right? Like that is activated constantly in our day to day lives. We're constantly
Yeah.
triggered. And
Yeah.
I remember one of my supervisors telling me, I was talking to her about something and she just stopped me very calmly. And she was like, Davril, are you breathing? And you have no idea how that simple question just literally was like, and it was like the first breath that I had in like years. I don't know if that's what it felt like. But obviously, I was breathing, I was alive. But you are so tense that you aren't even really taking deep breaths. It's shallow.
Conscious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
And you don't even know
definitely
you're not doing it. You don't even know, you're not even conscious of
you're
it.
not conscious. I was not conscious that I was holding my breath that entire time.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
this is what we do. We hold
That's what we
the
do.
tension in our jaw, we hold the tension in our shoulders, right? And
And your
so
back,
going your back, right? Yeah. And so going into a
fingers
space,
from being on this phone so much.
my gosh, you see, you said fingers. I I don't know if anybody has ever, like I said, probably only if you go to a spa and you have them massage your hands, but you can hold a lot of tension in your fingers, a lot of tension. And as you mentioned, we are doing so many things now, whether it's on the computer using a mouse or on the phones constantly, that yes, even your fingers are so tense. And so it's amazing to hear that you could step into a space like this and you really can go through, right, those five senses and bringing it down and grounding yourself, slowing down just for that moment. Like you said, it's just for an hour to do something for yourself, you know, to take care of you, just by stepping into a space like this. Wow.
Exactly.
I love it. um you mentioned earlier about a client that spoke about She spoke about not liking people to touch her. And I want to put a disclaimer for persons who have been through any like sexual trauma. That is really a thing, right? So if you someone listening has been through something like that, just jumping into a spa experience may be very triggering, right?
I
But
understand.
generally, if
Yes, yeah.
that's not you, right? I think we do also just as, for just physical privacy, right? Reasons, I think we are generally uncomfortable with the idea of someone touching us in any kind of intimate way. But you said she was able to put that aside and show up. And the experience was such a beautiful experience that she even ended up tipping a masseuse. I do wonder, have you ever heard experiences where someone comes in and, I mean, they look normal, right? We all look like we're not carrying the world on our shoulders, but we are. We are. And so I do wonder if you've ever heard of, from a story from one of your masseuse or any of the, that someone comes in and after the session, or maybe even during the session, right? They've become emotional. Like it's almost like it was an emotional release more than a physical release. Like, have you ever heard any of those kind of stories?
Honestly, no. I haven't had anyone of the therapist report to me that there was like, crying or anything like that
Yeah.
happening. But I have noticed for myself, because I tend to be at the front many Saturdays, to see how persons change, and their fancy auras,
Mm,
energy when they finish, and they would describe it as feeling lighter. Something is released on that massage bed in the room, and I think it has a lot to do in terms of the person who was uncomfortable with being touched leaving being very satisfied. I think it has a lot to do with the therapist, and her skill level, because massage at the level of our spa is supposed to be professional versus intimate. So the person is supposed to be able to have a professional experience that relieves
definitely.
them of tensions, relaxes them, and makes them feel comfortable without feeling invaded physically.
Mm,
I've had massages all over the world. Like when I go to another country, I check out to see what the other spas and stuff are doing,
right.
and you feel
Yeah.
the difference in the touches. Some people make you feel like, oh, I wasn't expecting them to touch there. That's weird. But it comes with experience, and it comes with the level of experience, once again, of the therapist and knowing how to touch someone, to look at someone and determine, what type of touch, and also to ask, you ask, okay, what type of outcome you're looking at today. Is it therapeutic, or is it going to be relaxation? All of that goes into ensuring that the person leaves feeling relieved or feeling as though the new experience was one that was pleasant.
I love how you emphasize training, right? Like these are professionals. This isn't this isn't you going to um just a random thing. It's almost like you're going to a doctor, right? Like they've been trained to do this. I even like the part where you mentioned where they may ask, right? Okay, I'm about to, massage your shoulder. So they'll give you advance notice, and
Yes,
even ask your permission because that in itself is also a great way, especially for someone who is learning boundaries, right? Like let's say in
yes,
therapy, they're learning boundaries and consent and these sort of things in different situations. Here's a
yes.
professional setting where you get to right implement it. And so yeah, like them being professionally trained is what allows for the customer to really feel safe, to really feel like, okay, I can trust that this is as good as going to the doctor to just relax, to, like you say, leave the stress on the table. And you mentioned when you were talking about the what was it, the like bath salts and so on, right? Like with the texture. When you have that pressure, even if it's a light pressure,
Mm-hmm.
that is activating what we would call the vagus nerve, right, in your brain. That's signaling to stop, pump the brakes on that fight flight that's
Yeah.
happening. So it
Mm-hmm.
actually is literally stopping the part of your brain that is just that automatic. part that is just like, okay, fight, 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 or flight, flight, right? It's stopping that. So that sensory stimulation is bringing up serotonin, it's bringing up dopamine, right? For that mood regulation, and it's slowing down cortisol, which is stress hormone, right? So it sounds like it's just going to the spa. It sounds like, oh, it's just a massage. But no, like it actually does have a chemical impact on you mentally and
Yes.
physically. And you even mentioned being the one at the front and seeing the difference. You may not see them boo hoo cry, but you see the difference in their mood. And you see the difference when they say, I feel lighter. Yes, because all of this has been happening in your mind chemically that now you're finally getting to just stop, to just slow down. So
To
that's
pause.
amazing. What came to mind as well for me to ask you was, we're talking about going to the spa, and obviously there's a cost.
Mm-hmm.
So for persons that can't go regularly, right? What are some simple practices that they can do at home that you would recommend?
Okay. So simple practices that could be implemented, in a routine to make someone or to have someone still have a sense of relaxation at home. Personally, for me, I love having a diffuser and a diffuser. So I mean it's very commonly sold these days. And you buy your favorite essential oil, put the water
Mm,
in the diffuser, drop a few drops in, and it diffuses through your entire bedroom. Wonderful. It smells great, especially oils like lavender, eucalyptus, rosemary, sometimes blending them together. It's so nice. And then just seeing the vapor rising from the top of it just makes you feel like if you're in a spa as well. Scented candles, that's a must. I have one in my office in Border Spain. Must have a little scented candle lit. Even at nighttime, you light it, elevates your mood. I'm a person, I'm really big on scent, if that's what you like.
right.
There are people who love like sheet mask. It's like a sheet mask. So it's sold more so in the States. I haven't seen it a lot locally, but they sell these masks in a pack. You rip it open and then you place the mask on your face. It's normally moistened and it contains the different chemicals and stuff that's supposed to aid your skin in getting brighter or plumper, as the case may be. Doesn't replace a facial, but it still gives you a feeling as though you're doing something self care like for yourself. Lastly, one of my favorite things as well would be shower steamers.
I
Now,
love a good shower bomb. Just, yeah,
right. So some of the local artisans are making them. I haven't seen all of them doing it, but a few of them. So you open up the little packet that it's packaged in. You just put it on the ground in the shower or in the bath in the shower, right? In your bath area. And once the water touches it, the it's usually made with sodium bicarbonate. The bicarbonate would melt in the water and then the scent rises. So the whole shower, the whole bathroom is smelling like that essential oil scent. So it really, really adds something to your bath experience. And you don't have to have a bathtub to have it. It's just going in the shower.
yeah.
It's nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even all of those, all of those ideas that you just painted there, again, all sensory, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
grounding. Like it's how we slow down. It's how we go from speeding at 100 to bring it down to 20 to just park the car, man. Just park the car. Sometimes you just need to park the car,
If
right?
you're lucky enough to, if your husband or wife or whoever you're
Yeah,
living with, your partner, wants to give you a little massage at the end of the day, that as well.
yeah,
Doesn't substitute a professional massage unless the person is a massage therapist.
right.
But it's still something that really gives a sense of relaxation at the end of a long day, especially if you're wearing heels or ballet flats, which could put a lot of pressure
No.
on the sole of your feet. Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah, I love that you brought in even, like you said, if you have a spouse, because there's something about when we get relaxed that it then opens us up, right? We actually
Yeah.
get a release of a hormone called oxytocin, which is the
Yes.
bonding hormone. So,
Yeah.
I mean, ask your husband or your partner if you have one for a little massage now. Just ask them. Just ask them. It wouldn't be to the quality of a similar class, but You can still have them.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
you mentioned self care. And how would you define self care? You know, for persons who feel like self care is them being selfish or like it's not even necessary. You know, how would you define self care?
yeah. Self care is not selfish, you know. Self care to me is setting boundaries to ensure that you perform at your best self. That's how I would define it. And I would say it entails taking some time away from a busy schedule to do something that enriches you, relaxes you, and makes you feel better.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And I know we think it's like this new age concept, because we see it everywhere, self care on Instagram and so on. But we lived really different lives before. You know, I think our ancestors, something as simple as getting up and seeing the sunrise and just taking it in, you know, that was something that they were able to be present in that moment without then being interrupted by a call or a text or, you know, so we live really different lives than um, we did in the past as human beings. And so
Yes,
now we do
definitely.
have to be more intentional.
We do.
It's not
Intentional,
something we can take for granted.
intentional, definitely
Yeah,
intentional. Yeah, yeah.
definitely. Yeah, intentional about it. Do you see spa visits as something that can be almost like preventative care for burnout, you know, and even other mental health challenges? Like I said, anxiety is on the rise and, you know, so on. But do you see it like fitting in that kind of preventative niche for mental health?
I think that would vary from person to person, right? Because there's some people who would definitely need to have professional, of course, the therapists are professional, but have mental assistance in order to get where they need to go. Some persons would need to see a doctor to get where they need to be optimally. Self care in a spa setting can complement that. I wouldn't say it's a substitute. I would definitely say
Definitely.
it definitely could assist in ensuring that the person has a very high quality of life.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with you. Like I said, I often, you know, encourage my clients to seek any kind of somatic treatment. Especially, I deal with a lot of clients with trauma actually, and it's very helpful for them. They you know they do different things, whether it's like yoga or they go to the spa and they come back and they tell me they're like, DJ, I got my massage, you know, and they're very proud
Yeah,
of it. And I'm like, yes, how was
yeah,
that for you? And we talk about that in our
yeah.
therapy sessions. What was
So,
it
say for
like for
example,
you?
the
Yeah,
person is someone who doesn't have serious mental issues. It could prevent them from tipping over that point. But if
right.
it's someone who struggles with something a little bit deeper, whether it be intense anxiety
Yeah,
or things like schizophrenia, that type of thing, I don't think that it would be a spa massage
yeah,
would be a
yeah.
preventative thing. I think it really would vary from person to person because everybody has their unique individual needs to get them to their best self. So I wouldn't come and say, yeah, prevent
Yeah, let's go to
some
spa.
case
You
like
have in that episode. No, no, I definitely think, like you said, it depends on what the person is dealing with.
yeah,
And you know, it definitely has a place, as one of the tools, right, for persons. And I think that was the biggest message that I think this conversation has shown me as well. And I hope the listening audience as well, that this is something that don't just think of it as a one-off thing or think of it as, oh, you know, it would make just a nice present randomly for my mom, right? We just passed
yeah,
Mother's Day.
hmm
But really think of it as something that you can introduce as a part of your holistic care, right?
yeah,
So you're going to the
that
doctors. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And I really think that more and more Trinidad Begonians are recognizing the importance of it because you see that a lot of spas are opening up. There are
Right.
different beauty centers opening up all over the place. So it means that there must be recognition and a demand in the market for this type of service.
Right.
you know.
Definitely. Definitely. So I have one more question for you. Just
Oh,
one more. I want you to finish this sentence, especially based off of our entire conversation today. I
yeah,
want you
sure.
to finish this sentence. You give yourself permission to
In what context?
just everything we've spoken about today, everything, just what comes to mind, based off of our conversation. Just, yeah, you give yourself permission to.
Okay, you give yourself permission to release, permission to have a safe space,
Wow,
permission to relax. Yeah,
I love that. Permission to release, to have a safe space, and permission to
to
relax.
relax.
So
Mhm.
I hope they heard that. I hope they take that. If you guys
I
have
hope
any,
you come. I'm waiting on you to come because I don't think you've had
yeah,
yours
you got
yet.
one.
All
I'm gonna
right.
just show up for the opening, just to support for sure. I'm gonna just show up.
And
But
it's
yes,
already
I
prepared.
definitely need myself a spa day. So I will be taking my own advice, and I definitely will be booking my appointment. And if you guys have any questions about our conversation, feel free to put it in the comment section below. But I also want to let you guys know that Valsane Luxury Spa is actually one of our partners at Evolving You. So if you ever show up to their spa, or you show up to Evolving You, feel free if you're a customer to just ask about our discount packages, because we do allow our customers to have discount packages. So to seek about your mental health as well as your physical and emotional well-being through their services as well. And I'm gonna let Jamila give her big announcement because they have some great things coming up and I am excited for them. So I'm gonna just give her the floor to tell you guys what's coming up next for their spa. Go ahead, Jamila.
All right, so we have some big news for you. We are relocating to a much bigger, better unit. However, it's still going to be inside Val Park Shopping Plaza. Okay, this unit will allow us to offer you an even better experience with more space and more ability for us to give you that luxury experience that everybody has been asking for, right? Little tweaks that you all would have asked for in terms of just the more space, but more or less. We have added, and we have also added a few more luxury features to some of your favorite services, okay? That would include things like an enhanced children's spa. So
Wow.
we are doing a special cabin just for kids. So it's going to have pedicure stations for kids. It's going to have beds for kids as well for them to have their kids facials and massages as well. So it's not going to be shared with the adult area. It's separately and designed uniquely for kids. It's going to be really, really beautiful. And for disabled persons, we are offering a concierge service. The unit we're moving to is, I wouldn't, it's not, it's upstairs. So persons who have a disability have the concern of having to get from the car park to upstairs. However, Val Park has installed an elevator. So once you get to the elevator, we're able to use our wheelchair, dedicated wheelchair service and concierge to get you from there to the unit. So you have, disabled persons have that benefit. They don't have to worry about walking or having to have the inconvenience of moving from the car park to the unit. Yeah.
I
All right, so those are
mean,
just
like, what did you all not think of? To be quite honest.
maybe we think a lot. We think a lot, and we've really been putting a lot into ensuring that this is the best possible spa you can go to.
It honestly sounds like it. I mean, a dedicated kids area concierge service for those who are disabled.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
wait to come and check you
yeah.
guys out. Because I've been to the this current spa. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what you guys have been working on. And honestly, early congratulations on the
Can't wait
opening.
to have you. Literally, can't wait to have you. Honestly,
I honestly hope the opening goes smoothly and that it's like a huge success. Because you guys have been working for a long time, 16 years, man. That
yes.
this didn't come out of nowhere, right? So, do you have any last words that you want to share, or Anything like that with the listening audience?
Not really. I just want to say thank you so much for having me today and allowing me to share on behalf of Alcyon Luxury Spa. We hope that your listeners recognize the importance of self care and taking some time aside to relax and spend some time with themselves. We hope that they also recognize the importance of a full health and wellness package. You know, spa visits are just one of the different tools in the toolkit, they should also consider therapy services, seeing one of your licensed therapists, if required, and that people just get the best possible help that, or essentially support that they need to be able to live life to the fullest. We only live life once,
Mm,
let's live it with color, let's enjoy it.
let's live with
Yeah,
color. Couldn't have
yeah.
ended any better than that. Thank you guys for being with us. And as always, heal, grow, and evolve. Until next time,
Yes.
remember the couch is yours. Bye.
Bye, everyone.